right, everyone. So I'm going to give you guys a lab to work on. And it's basically kind of what I just showed you guys today, but you're gonna build your own composition in Adobe Animate. So I want you to start a new FLA file. You can make it 1920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720. You can just make it 24 frames a second, or I think what's the default? It'd be like 30, I guess. I'd probably make it 30. Yeah, all right, 24. Keep it 24 is fine. And what I'd like you guys to do is I want you guys to animate two balls bouncing. Okay. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a ball. That ball is going to bounce across the screen. Okay. So this is just like, the little demo I did for you guys. And I want you guys to implement the 12 principles of animation. Okay, you don't have to use every principle, but you're going to use principles like squash and stretch, slow in, slow out. It's going to bounce across the screen, so it should have more than one bounce moving forward. So things like arcs, things like that, timing. All of these things are going to be very relevant to making your animation look good. So I want you guys to create a simple animation. I guess I had it at 1920 by 1080. It's fine. So I want you to animate it. Okay. And after you animate the first one, so you're going to have two balls. One is going to be a tennis ball, and the other one is going to be a bowling ball. And the reason why we're doing two is I want you to think about how the elements like squash and stretch, slow in, slow out, arcs and timing and all of that kind of stuff, how that's going to correspond to the material of your object. Okay. So remember, like a tennis ball should be a little bit more bouncier. So, it should probably stretch a little more. It should probably squash a little more. You know, it's probably going to be a little more zippy in terms of its timing. Something like a bowling ball, it's a little more of a rigid material. So you really shouldn't have as much of a stretch or as much of a squash going. When it bounces, it probably won't bounce as high because it has its momentum isn't as fast as, like it's not going to be as bouncy as a tennis ball would be. So all of these things you should think about. So what you're going to do is you're going to animate the two. I want you to export your animation and upload it to YouTube and Vimeo. After you upload it, so let's say you upload it to, let's say this is your video. And you upload it to YouTube, for instance. What I want you guys to do is to copy the URL, create a new create like a text document. You can use any text program you want. It could be Microsoft Word, it could be, TextEdit, Notepad, whatever. I want you to paste that in to a document and save it. Call it like, ball bounce. Then what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to submit the FLA file that you were working on and the text document that incorporates your URL. So for instance, sorry, I'm looking for my URL. I have a lot of stuff going on my desktop here. Here's my ball bounce. Let's pretend this is my FLA file here. Let's pretend this is the ball bounce FLA. This is the URL. put both of them into a folder with your name on it. So I'd put something like, you know, lab, Hurwicz, first name, last name. Then what I want you guys to do is compress it. If you're on a Mac, you can simply compress a file by right-clicking and choosing compress. If you're on a PC, I'll send a video, but you can basically just right-click, send to, and there should be an option called zip, and that should compress it. And then you're going to submit that zip folder to me via Canvas. So, you know, you would submit, you know, you would have something that looks like this. It's not published, I guess, for you guys, but there would be a submit assignment and you would submit the zip file to me. Okay. That'll be due in about, oops, I think the date's off a little bit. Yeah, it's due the 9th. I don't know why it says 17th here. I apologize for the miscommunication. But it's due not this Friday, but the Friday after next. Okay. There's also some tips here just to kind of help you. So remember that the ball should accelerate when it's falling, but then slow down when it's bouncing up. Should have squash and stretch to show the speed of the ball. The ball should always react when it hits a surface like the ground, or if it hits a wall. If you're having a wall, it can do that. The ball in theory should lose kinetic energy. So every time it bounces and hits a surface, it should bounce less than the last bounce. Okay. Here's some examples from previous students. So it gives you kind of an idea of what I'm looking for. Okay.